groups are, what they're focused on, and who's involved. And so with that, our typical ending slide is a meeting and milestones. So we cross off the referendum, and we are here tonight at our first post-referendum. And then this is the series of meetings that you saw on that schedule. So that is where we are.
Yeah.
We're only going up
It's like
until
December
December.
this year. No, it's like
2021. So our major focus is the design part, but we can put a shovel in the ground.
The idea is that that colored bar chart schedule that represents what we call design development, and in rough terms, it suggests that the design that we have prepared is about 40% done. The construction documents design. That right there is when we expect or hope to have all the design decisions made. The major design issues are all resolved at the end of that, and then what we then spend the next 10 months actually just detailing everything that everyone is coordinating all the systems and building a set of documents with the contractor and build. So it's kind of two-part
I
process.
know it sounds like a long time, 10 months, but the size of the school, we need that amount of time to make sure it's done. Have everything down and
Good prices.
We hope that there's a little bit of leveling out in the market here by the time we get there.
marked out.
Yeah, excellent.
We want to communicate with some responses, particularly with the subcommittees. Would it be needed? Okay. Yeah, thank you. Then, yeah, we'll collect the names and then we did last time, we let the chairs know who to invite.
And I think from performing arts, I know one challenge I had was coming in. Well, we don't really know how big we're going to have it, and so some of those discussions, like I think some people are like, well, 600 is not really big enough. I don't care about that. But if you start talking 1,000, yeah, I'm in. And honestly, we might have something the other way around. 1,200, I just kind of work. Okay, fine, but we're going to get other people that. So now I think Bill and I can be like, hey, we're getting 1,200 seats. What can you do with that? And I think that will help us be able to actually, I'll be able to start having conversations with some of the dance companies and stuff. We got 1,200 seats. You want to at least know what's going on. I mean, those kind of things. I think we can start having those more
What might
definitive
be your
conversations.
need?
Yeah, exactly. What would you be looking for? What can you do for design to help?
We have to be careful to stay in those kinds of discussions because of contractual things down the road. We don't want to promise everything.
It's like input towards.
But I like the sense of what would you need
Right.
to use a space like this? Because they're the subject matter. It'd be really valuable.
That's all we have.
Great.
So
I think Katie's got a presentation here on where we're going to fundraising, because that's going to become a big part of this. Moving us toward being successful as we can. Not only in achieving the design and the functionality of what we're looking for, but in affording it. The fundraising will impact the final cost to the taxpayer. So the project in total has been approved, and its current funding is through both state and local bonding. Any fundraising that we do will reduce the amount of local bonding required. It will not change the size and scope of the project. All it does is address how to actually pay for what has been approved. So if we keep that in mind, that gee, we're not fundraising to add a 1,400 seat auditorium or anything like that, but we're going to impact what it costs the local taxpayer to have this project. We're going to have this project. We're going to have this school as designed what we're looking at. But what it's going to cost the local taxpayer has yet to be determined. And anything that we do, and as successful as we can be in our fundraising efforts, it's going to reduce that impact on the local taxpayer. Yeah, we'll make a lot of friends if we do that. So that's our goal. And fundraising is a unique pursuit in its own. It is not something to be successful and do it well with a project of this size. It is not something you just go run out of the street and say, who can give me what? It takes a great deal of planning. It takes patience. And I'm going to suggest that to everyone. Organizing this and making it successful, we're going to have to be patient. Everyone, right now is kind of riding the high. Boy, and I could go ask, my neighbor, and he's going to give me $100, but $100 isn't going to get us where we want to go. There's a proven formula for how you approach this and how we can be successful with this, and Katie's going to outline that for us now, I think.
Thank you, Tom. So a lot has been going on behind the scenes around fundraising that is not transparent, and some of it is intentional. Because as I go through this, as Tom said, people have to be patient because you have to focus on the top part of the pyramid first, which is what I've been focusing on, with a lot of consult with experts who raised a lot of money. Okay, so talking to people who've done it, reading a book like How to Raise $1 Million, things like that, to how to best raise $3 million, $3 to $5 million. I used $3 million here just to give you a perspective about what it's going to take to get $3 million. The library took 5.5 years, close to 5 years to get $3 million. Okay, so now we have a different type of project than the library. Library is very, focused in its one entity. So you have to start in the first part of the pyramid. If you do not, you cannibalize any chance at fulfilling the top. Okay, so a top donor who sees you go out and you're selling bricks, for example, they're going to say, oh, boy, all I have to do is give $100 for a brick. They're not going to come ask me for $100,000 or whatever. So you have to watch that you don't also insult people or possible donors, that you didn't personally call me, set up a meeting, and have a discussion. Right? So, and that is really the top tier. So we're looking for people who are willing to donate 6 figures or more. So I have put out to certain perspectives $1 million to name the Performing Arts Center. There's an example. Is you want your name on the Performing Arts Center, you need to donate $1 million. So I'll give that example. So you have to leverage that we come into the real big drive for fundraising with lead donors to say, wow, we're already 50% or more. Here you have about 60% or more is lead donors that needs to step up. Okay? Or we have to encourage and inspire to want to do it. So that's being worked on, and that's something I have to do one-on-one meeting. It's not everybody in this room is going to go do that. There has to be a face that has the message, that has the deliverables on how to do that. And I have a really good coach that I have been working with on how do you go sick. I had a meeting at Sunday night at Da Vinci's having a drink, okay? You do whatever it takes. If I have to drive to Boston, I might have to go to New York to meet somebody. That's what it's going to take to get 6-figure donors. Okay. So part of that, as Tom and I talked and Bonnie talked earlier, is there are names people have been giving me. They've been saying, have you contacted this person? I have a document that I'm keeping track of all the names. The other key is you have to look for people who are philanthropists, right? I might be wealthy, but I'm not known to give. Where another person's wealthy and they have a track record of giving, they're more apt to give. So you can't just, we assume people have a lot of money. Well, they also have a lot of money, probably a lot of bills and a lot of investments they may not be, willing to do that, but then there are other people, that's part of their lifestyle, that every year they give X dollars. And so we want them to give their X dollars to us, okay? So that's the top level, and we're looking for about $2 million from donors. So when the fundraising committee gets together, and I had put August as a possible date, so there are people who've talked to me about being on fundraising committee. Craig Gibson, Beth Reed, Brian Dubois, there are people who said, when you have the committee, I'm there to help. So we need to keep growing that group. Bonnie and Tom also be part of the group. Anyone here want to be part of the group? And when we meet for fundraising, there will be discussions on, are there people you know that could be lead donors that I need to take up? Do you have their information, their contact information? Who should I contact to contact them? Who can you contact to get the contact? And we can discuss high yield fundraising. Not a fundraiser that's going to get us $20,000. Because we've got to raise $900,000 at that midpoint. So one thing that has come up is selling the current gym floor. So there will be ideas such as that. Tom was saying, how do you do naming rights on the stadium? So it's going to be really that fundraising committee has to start talking about naming rights. And how much will the naming rights, if they were all sold, would name? So one thing would be, how many seats did Stanford actually sell in their auditorium? For how much did they sell them for? How much did they yield? How much did Mount Blue sell them for in yield? So that we can say, if we do this right, we will yield this much. And is that considered a high yield fundraiser? If we do the gym floor and we do a grid and we sell this many pieces of the gym floor for how much money, how much is that yield? Is that considered a high yield fundraiser? So kind of talking about those different fundraisers, because some people have said to me, why don't you sell keychains with this? Okay, well, that's not going to be a high yield. That's going to be in the lower part of the pyramid. But those are all awesome ideas. So every idea matters. It's when does it get rolled out? Okay? So you can see where I kind of put a tentative timeline to get people wrapped around that. Tomorrow we're not raising $3 million. This is a 2-year process, if not more. Okay? Because you're going to have people who will say, I will give $100,000, and there will be other people who say, I want to commit $5,000 over the next 10 years. So everything has to be accounted for. And we also know people say they will give. 2 years from now, they may not give back. Something happens and they can't commit to that. So the first part is really happening now, and it really started last January. Okay, but from June to November, really hitting hard, getting big donations. Identifying those people who may not live here in the community anymore. They may be somewhere that wow, they graduated in 19 whatever. Did you know they discovered this? We might want to contact them. Olympia Snow's come up quite a bit. Is she going to donate? So those are names, names that are going to come up. Those we need to be working on. Then we need to be planning any big yield fundraisers and the naming rights. We need to name, what is going to be named, what's going to be offered. Tom was saying, you walk up bleachers, there could be names on each bleacher row. The media center, the Google there, all those things, we got to identify what we're going to sell. And once you set the selling, we don't budge off of that. So I set $1 million for the auditorium naming rights. We're going to stay with that. Until we might have to change, but right now it's $1 million. So those are the things that the fundraising committee needs to start to do. The other part is July workshop with school committee from 6 to 7. We need to talk about school policy because we have a school policy right now on advertising in schools. So what if a marijuana company says, I'll give you $1 million, I want it to be named Peace Stadium, whatever you want to call know the name of one, but, Remedy Stadium. I know, sure. Are we gonna allow a stadium to be called Remedy? Not by school policy. So we have to really be clear with the community too. What are the naming rights, criteria, right? We have prominent people who own alcohol businesses. Is it all right to have Pepsi Cola? Yeah, so we're gonna have to talk out, what are our school policies around wellness, advertising school, naming rights, everything we have, and the school committee's gotta talk out what's gonna be criteria to be acceptable on school policy. Okay, so there's things that have to be kind of worked through as we come into the first fundraising committee meeting to talk about what are those, I'm gonna do the same thing, here's the pyramid. We're gonna be talking about that mid pyramid, the top pyramid, and then you saw the last part of the pyramid is not till next year, because you gotta be thinking, okay, well, our goal was 5 million, we're at, how far are we even towards the 3 million? Do we have a small enough gap that everyone can participate? Because you want everybody to have the opportunity to participate. So part of the fundraising committee might be levels. I might be able to give $1,000. Where does that put me on the donor list? Where does it put my family if I give $5,000? So we're going to talk about that. Those are going to fill in some of the gaps towards the low, the highest, but it gives everybody opportunity to participate. But that's not kicking us off there. To be excited that we just did big fundraising, we raised $1,200 in spaghetti dinner. Okay, that's not even close to where we have to be. So when community, I get a lot of that. What are you doing fundraising? Okay, there's things that have to be done. And it's hard to be patient, but we've got to think 2 years. This is a 2-year endeavor that has to be organized, as Tom said, planned, executed, and we have to have people that are committed to doing. I can't run every fundraiser. So people have to be excited about the topic. There might be somebody who thinks, that's the one I want to be invested in. So I'll run that one. So that's part of the committee too, is finding people that are excited about doing an event or whatever. So that's where we are. Any questions?
I wonder, you may already, it sounds like you're doing such a great job.
Well,
Spend your time.
I'm learning as I go.
But I wonder, United Way does a thing where they get a loan executive that comes and works with them. I wonder if someplace like Maine Community Foundation would loan you one of their people, even just for a short period of time, or to come and help think about the process. And it sounds like you're getting it, but, their Maine Community Foundation, I wonder even if it's coming to some of the meetings or helping to come up with kind of a plan or a process.
And other people have invited those people to sit on the fundraising committee because, like, I talked to Robin, but she works for Androscoggin Bank and she's an alumni, and I said we may need somebody from the banking world to give us some advice on how to help people donate and certain money. So there are probably people out there, and maybe there's a graduate from the Maine Foundation, I don't know, that might say, I'm willing to come to some meetings and discuss possibilities. So absolutely.
I think you've done a great job of what you've done here. I heard a comment, this is community, not Katie's site. So that raised a little thought to me that Katie is the superintendent of school. She is not the consultant for building a new school. Yes, she is, but some she isn't. But so, and I know Adam has a job too. And everybody has a job. But do we need somebody to keep track, maybe to be like the gatekeeper or the payroll clerk or somebody that brings in people? I bring in a donation. Who am I gonna give it to? Do we give it to Adam to report it, or do we need somebody in the business office to do this, to keep track?
They're already doing it.
We have our software, we have the tools to manage all of that.
Do you have the time to manage all of it?
Yeah, I think in terms of when actual funds are coming in, we have good ways of segregating them by category or whatever.
Like right now, the Naomi Phillips Stevens fund has already raised $40,000. So that's running right through, which will be part of the legacy fund. So that's running through anything that's done through PayPal and everything, that runs through electronic. And so Jackie can run a report. So we get a report of when the donor came in, and then Roz puts together a thank you note because they need that for tax purposes. So we are collecting the information. So it's a matter of Jackie every week has been looking at the fund to see if there's any additional donors since the last time. So right now, if it gets too big, yes, we may have to reach out and say, we need support.
So, how are we going to keep track of who has been solicited? And when that person was solicited, and not the top one, but the second and third one. Who has been solicited? What is the result?
That'd be a function of that fundraising committee.
Yeah.
They'll put that
Okay,
organization.
of the big committee.
They're gonna have to have a
They're gonna
field
have to
office
put
of some sort.
that together.
I think that's more Bonnie, to your point of,
Yes,
that's where we need assistance.
yes,
Exactly.
Yeah, the business office isn't,
right.
uh, but yeah, the fundraising subcommittee would
Yeah,
be a great
that's
place for
fantastic.
that information to live throughout the process.
Okay, we're all volunteers.
Right,
We all
exactly.
have jobs, we all do our own thing. But is there somebody that's going to keep us on task to do it? Because I can say I can do this, and I can go home and go,
We may find that out in some.
yes.
subcommittee.
I mean, for the PR for the vote, we paid $14,000 to have the person keep us on track. Would a fundraiser person do that for $14,000? I'm not sure. When I've talked to people that do this work and they join and whatever, well, some on a full-time job, you're gonna pay me $50,000. You know,
We do that, right?
right, so, but they're gonna do like Greg did, which I think frustrated some people, if they thought Greg was doing the work. No, Greg is not doing the work, Greg is gonna tell you what you need to do. And the fundraiser is gonna do the same thing, which is, have you done this, have you done that, and then we have to people step up and do that. So it's gonna be the same thing, but yes, I know some fundraising people, they take a percentage of the total.
And
I'm willing to raise this, but I will take a percentage of your total, and that's how I get paid.
I've
So
worked
there's
with,
different things.
I've worked with somebody like that, and it's very frustrating on it. In a very small organization, spent a lot of money on that, and I didn't mean that, I meant like it's stuff in the works. More that's going to keep us focused and, hey, did you talk to that principal or that person that was graduated from EL or whatever, Scott, just to give us, is that what the big group is going
The
to do?
big group will organize that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's their task.
There's gonna be somebody in charge of that.
Right, yeah.
Right, right.
That'll be under there.
If you wanna be involved in that, let me know. We can-
So do we, so, I don't know if these numbers are estimates.
It's all estimates.
But do we actually know what is our actual, fundraising goal in this timeframe exactly? Is there some point where we actually need to be at $3 million or $5 million?
Or if you want it before the tax bill, you have to have it before the spring of 2021.
So is that,
That's why I had,
so that's our deadline.
it's not your deadline, it's
That's what it was trying to impact.
would impact the taxes, and then anything you raise after that, we would put towards the tax. Let's say after the first tax bill, we get a donation of $500,000, that would be put towards the next payment. We have payments that have to be made.
Oh, would accomplish the same
Correct.
purpose.
Oh,
Yes.
And it's very different.
It could be the same thing, but different, right? So a bond payment of $500,000, we'll bring this with bond payment, which reduces the donation.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So it's more like, you're raising these funds to pay off the bond.
Correct.
It's not like these funds are gonna go towards the contract.
No.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Right.
So
Good, I'm glad you asked.
it isn't necessarily we need the money to complete the project.
No,
No.
We need the money to actually pay down the bond, right?
correct.
Okay.
To lower the mill rate
Lower the mill rate.
against the tax.
Right.
Taxpayer.
So technically, there's no deadline to actually raise whatever,
Right.
I'm not running it.
But you want to have, I'll call it an artificial
Oh, sure.
deadline
Yes.
for that purpose, so that it motivates people to make the decision.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that that's a very good point to make clear so that anybody who's speaking about this knows exactly what it is. But with the understanding that that money that you're giving or raising is going to go to facilitate this building of this school. So it's gonna be used probably for an athletic field or performing arts or
Right.
whatever. So you're not just giving it to the city of Auburn to lower their taxes. You're giving it to the city of, it's a
You
very
are.
fine line.
Technically.
It's a very,
Well-
yes, technically you are, but you know, that would turn me off.
it's how you sell it, and that's the
Right.
fundraising committee.
And we need a script.
You're donating your money for the auditorium.
Right.
The end result is it will impact the tax rate.
That's right, Tom.
But you're donating your money towards the auditorium or towards the athletic field or towards
We'll
whatever.
have to decide on plaques
Right.
or.
Yeah, and how you're doing
a
it. That's where the
design, how
donation
you-
is going. Its impact will reduce the
That's
tax
the
rate.
way to do it. Tom.
There will be ways to permanently memorialize the
Right.
fact that hey, my money went to that auditorium.
That's
I
right.
can see it right there
Correct.
in writing.
Well-
And there are companies that specialize in creating them.
So if someone were to say, I want to donate $1,000, but I wanted to make sure it goes towards the auditorium, there's no, we can't factually, we can actually comply with that.
We'll account for it that way. You'll show that this amount of money was raised towards the auditorium. You'll have different pools. In the fundraising, we'll be raising X amount of money for the stadium. We'll be raising X amount of money for the auditorium. We'll be raising for the turf field, the tennis courts, what you name it.
But
They'll have slots.
No, but it's all
It's all going.
one pool of money.
It
though.
will be, but
It
you'll
isn't-
account for it
I know
in the
it's
slot.
just like how we code their money, but we were really not complying with
Right.
anyone's request.
No,
Say, I'm
not
paying,
to
I
that
want to pay
extent.
for it.
But we will show that that's what.
They'll have a
But it-
plaque.
Well, let her.
No, a plaque, but
Tom.
somebody who gives $1 million to the auditorium, their name is gonna be across the auditorium.
Yeah, there may be, when you get into the discussions with the fundraising committee, there may be specific ways to recognize the contribution. Like, for example, when the Cumberland County Civic Center was built, people contributed to the Cumberland County Civic Center in different ways. There were seats that had people's names on it.
Right.
in the Cumberland County Civic Center.
The flag
Or-
becomes an advanced letter, like
Right.
Katie said,
Yeah.
you guys send a letter, to acknowledge for their tax purposes. So, big ones, whether it's naming rights or plaques, is another layer of recognition that goes with that, whether it's for tax purposes and what is for individual.
The recognition pieces.
Right, so it's more like the recognition that someone, that we can actually provide to a donor.
Oh, more
Yeah.
That's exactly. It's not like contributing to Central Medical Centers for the Neonatal unit. That's where that fundraiser is. That's where those dollars are going to the neonatal and the discussion. Our fundraiser will impact the taxes in your money will be used to build a new school. Yeah, you did, but that's, it's kind of tricky.
It really is, because your money will go, pay for the auditorium, or the seat, whatever, that's where your money will go. And if I need to put it through a ledger, prove it, say, your tax donations were expended to buy soil,
Yes.
that I can do that. Because it makes no difference. All it is writing a piece of, a number on a ledger, says this is where it went. Because that's all it is.
But people are used to saying, I'm not putting my money towards.
And that's why you want to give it back to them. And
That's
why
right,
you
the
want to give it back to them
auditorium's
that way.
$1 million.
Say, yes,
don't
you
want to
did,
say towards building the school, but
towards the auditorium,
the
absolutely.
school being built.
I have a question, it's probably a leads question, but if you raise $5 million or $3 million, whatever, you said you were gonna make payments. Can you put that on the principal directly to Wally or?
Now, once the bond's sold,
Yeah, so,
That's why we're
Up
trying to get
until
ahead
that
of it.
point in January of 21,
Exactly.
that's exactly what we're doing.
right,
okay.
After that, we know the payments for the next 20 years. So when someone commits 10,000 a year, okay, and that's bringing that payment down every year, whatever it is. We just have to account for it differently, but it accomplishes the same purpose.
That's right. I mean, even after the new high school gets built and the bond payments have started, there are still contributions that are coming in. Those contributions can be used to help reduce the impact on the taxpayers.
So one thing that maybe you guys can answer this more is if grants are involved, you guys make more specific. How does that work? Fundraising scheme, to actually lower the tax rate because it would have to be done as it's being built, really.
a grant more often is my understanding, is specific. That you actually have to purchase the desk for the piece of equipment or whatever it is, so that has to be expended there. And you're not going to say, well, it's going to the general fund, we're going to spend it out here. You have to account for it, you have to show the expenditure about the equipment or whatever the grant was awarded for, and you guys say, we use it, thank you very much. And you're not going to be able to fold that into the fundraising for this project. You can enhance this project with grants. You can add equipment that is not part of this. You can add a position that is not part of this. So that could be additional to what the approved project is.
And if there's an expenditure attached to whatever you granted, we can look at the expenditure.
So can it be done before the bond is sold and then therefore we need to use principal?
Yes.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
As long as it's purchased, as long as the
Yeah, like the-
works.
Yeah, like the geothermal, if you had a grant for geothermal, lower the cost of that by 500,000, then when you go, that factors into the bid for the expenditure.
But you want to be careful and have it happen before, because no grant is going to give you money to reduce tax.
Right. Yes, Bob.
So the fundraising committee handles those grants? Will it be a separate grant committee or the school department?
I already have a database I sent to John, I sent to all the chairs of each committee. And most of them are valid except for like 2 of the turf grants are no longer eligible, but there's a lot of like gravel fund fund things. It doesn't, they're not super specific.
So going back to Bonnie's question, who's the gatekeeper of the grants?
They probably should come to the fundraising.
And I
At
sent it
the end
to-
of the
I
day,
sent
the funds will all come to the business.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, we could say there's a grant,
Yeah, grant or.
the athletic committee's looking at this grant, who's gonna help support writing the grant, yeah. We'll have to talk about that.
And I can send that list back out. It's,
Yeah.
I've updated it and it's.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. That'd be good for the subcommittee.
Good to see how they tip.
Yeah.
So we see that one.
Yeah, I think it's good, because I think now that we're in go mode, you can really be aggressive and start really applying, saying, this is what we're doing. No, you know,
Exactly.
this is here.
So I just didn't want to start highlighting things and then knock off this top tier.
Right.
piece.
Well, I think you're gonna go out to different pockets.
Right.
And if you knock off the price of that.
It's all right. All we do is raise the level. All we do is raise the level.
Right.
Towards the 5 million.
Right.
And how did you choose the level? 2,900,000. That's a really good question.
How did I?
Based on the percent.
I started with percentages, then I thought, well, the lowest level, I started at 1.5 at the top, but then I thought, well, then that puts a lot of pressure at the mid and the bottom. So I was trying to think what would be realistic for the bottom group to do. Could they raise 100,000 on smaller, low yield fundraisers?
Right.
And so then I said, well, really, we had $1 million for the performing arts and $1 million for the stadium, there's $2 million. So I kind of started there, and then I figured, well, 900,000, maybe reach that with naming rights. But if we name off everything, we could have that be bigger. So I kind of wanted to show that the largest amount has to be in the smallest part of the pillar.
And it
That's
doesn't,
what I was showing.
it doesn't preclude the naming rights from being in that small part.
Right, right, absolutely. I mean, the name rights probably going to be in all three sections. I think what we have to determine the fundraising is how much we will raise the name.
What do you want?
Because once you say X is $50,000, you gotta hope you get a donor that wants $50,000. Or they could get 5 people to give 10, you get that. Then you get 5 people on that name. So you gotta watch that.
You know, when we went to Mount Blue and they had like the names over the classrooms and stuff, did we find out how much they
1,000.
They did? That was it? $1,000 and they got their names on it?
And he said you could charge much more. Mike Cormier said I would raise every dollar amount that we did. I have his dollar amount. But yeah, he said I would charge more. I would.
I was wondering, as you choose naming rights, you're looking at the market possibility of what other schools at the other end of the policy versus names of 5 million.
Right.
That's what one of Oxford Hills, they give a name right in there. Sort of force it to. Just wondering how we come up with that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some research. There's also calculators. I tried to do, this calculator says you wanna do 5 million, it tells you what levels, how many levels you need and how much the levels should be. Like you need 2, 250, you need 3, you know. There are ways to calculate it. Yeah, that's what we want. So yeah, I think we're gonna call around and see what, you know, I talked to Mark Goslin on what they got for the Norway Savings Arena. What did they get for that? About $50,000.
200.
But it's 50,000 a year, not all at once.
Oh, how many?
Right.
Yeah.
Is it
5 years.
It's fine, it's,
You should, I
it's
don't know.
200, it's 250,000 overall, so.
5 years, 50,000.
But then you can renegotiate after that, so I don't know if you want to do that. Don't think they want.
I was gonna
That's
say,
what
yeah, you don't
happens
wanna,
at the big stadium.
Yeah,
That's why the name.
But that's, yeah, that's, I don't know. if you-
I think Katie's point is a good one, to look around and see what other people are doing.
Exactly, so
what's
I asked
happening.
like those kind of questions, is what did you do, what has the Coliseo done to get into Sky? But what I heard is a lot of it is contracts, a certain number of years, and then you have to negotiate. So part of the school committee discussion will be that is, do you want to approach corporations and are you willing to have the stadium be called the Bangor Savings Bank? I mean, that's, you know, those are discussions at the school committee level of what, you know, what name are you willing to, what dollar amount are you willing to
Or what are you willing to do for that?
Exactly, right. What are you willing to do for it, right?
wasn't it Camden that had the athletic field as alumni field and all the alumni?
That was Sanford.
Stanford?
Sanford.
Okay.
Sanford raised $2 million. They raised $2 million.
And they bonded
That's
10.
total.
That was their total.
Oh, yeah.
And they bonded 10, right?
And Mount Blue was like 1.8. And they set a timeline now. When I talked to my attorney, he said, we're doing it for 14 months, whatever we raise in 14 months. That's what we raised. They didn't keep it going. You know, there's an expectation in the community to get to 3 million. 3 to 5 million, but we got to shoot for 5. So that's what we got.
So you had said that there will be an alumni reunion, ELHS reunion in the fall.
Right.
So what about the reunions during the summer? Will we be doing anything with those?
That's a low level. I just know what they've raised. They raise about $1,700, $2,000 unless they're committed, like 1951, they did a big thing to do scholarships. But you gotta get to the people who, you know.
I know 65 did 3,000 statue.
Are you doing a
it's for the 150th, not the school department.
But we
The
did the
school department has voiced, at the meeting that we want participation in that weekend for possible fundraising.
And it's our money. Doesn't go
Yes,
to the
we're
one.
gonna be discussing that with our money.
Yeah, there's, just to add a little bit more,
Yeah.
more information. There's actually money that's coming from the 150th anniversary effort that's going on by the city. I think there's 15,000 or so that's been earmarked and dedicated towards the homecoming that's taking place
Right.
in November. And there are a number of activities that are being organized, and you've got two principals from Fairview that are
Right.
involved in that, and Rita Baldry from the police department. We're doing a really good job. I heard about it today. As a matter of fact, so.
So what they're doing is they're running alumni games, sporting event games. They're, Saturday night, Lost Valley will have a band and a reception for all alumni to go to. Is another event. So what we talked about is, possibly doing the gym floor that weekend is, or doing a final tour of the building if you are in town and you want to go back to, would that be a time to get a 195 gym tour? So we talked about that. But yeah, there is also expectation that money is being raised for 150th, and so we'll have to talk about when, we can't take all the money that's raised. But if we do a fundraising event at that for the ELHS Legacy Fund, we would.
Yeah, we have raised money, and the mayor's done a lot of this.
Yeah.
For the 150th anniversary celebration. And there's 15,000 that has been earmarked for this activity, the homecoming event. It's coming from that money that has been raised. To help the homecoming event be successful. I'm really excited about it. I think it's great to have all.
There's a little Auburn football game that Friday night,
Right.
so we keep the gate.
Well, I'm confused, okay? We're partnering with the 150th city, okay? They have fundraising. Within their fundraising,
I'm not sure this is a fundraiser
No, it's not a
for,
fundraiser.
it's not a
for us.
fundraiser for the city.
Bonnie, we're raising money to help this event.
right, to fundraise for the event, to help to pay for the event.
To pay for the
Yes,
event.
I get that.
That's right.
I get that.
incorporate some fundraising for high school?
Yeah,
But
we've
wait a
already
minute,
talked about, what I wanna be sure is that if we have a football game, we get the gate. If we sell the floor at this
We get that.
event, we get the, we
Yeah,
get,
those are our fundraisers. Those are our
Okay.
events.
okay. I don't want it to go
I
to the
don't,
floor
I
of
wanna
the
be,
city.
I do not know whether gate stuff or alumni game, I will not say that. I haven't sat at the meeting, so I don't know what's going on.
And we're not trying to
I don't know
raise,
what's
we're
going
not
on.
trying to
I
raise
don't wanna
money.
say something out of turn.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to
The
help.
city asked us to move the game, I wanna
Right.
just make sure there aren't assumptions made.
Let me clarify.
Yeah, I don't,
Katie,
Right.
what we're trying to do is money's been raised to help all these events be successful.
right.
And we're not taking any money from these events. So,
And I thought I understood that you
Right.
don't have the money, you're also trying to offset costs. That's
no,
all
we've got
I
money
charge
that
you
is-
for Lost
we've
Valley.
got money that
that's
has
not-
been raised through sponsorships from people in the community, business owners and so forth. It's a very positive thing, and
Very positive.
I'm really pleased that it's coming together so well.
I think it's positive too, I just want to be sure.
I do know that Celeste and Stephanie have talked about what money's going.
Okay.
I think everyone's been very conscientious about the whole sequence of events. Blending some existing activities with putting on an alumni weekend at a very advantageous time. And so what I hear Peter saying is that there's money set aside to put on these events because, like you said, Lost Valley is going to be free and it's going to be to fund those things. Money's been set aside.
Right.
But the opportunity to be bringing everyone back to town. So there's a great potential to be able to reach out into those alumni groups, those people that are coming back
Yeah.
It's Friday night is the game, because we moved around, Lewiston gave us, home game again. We weren't supposed to have the home game.
Yeah.
The concessions is run by.
Is there a concession?
All right, anything else? Next meeting,
Next meeting, July 23rd. Subcommittees, 5:30. Those meetings.
all right,
I can start for a moment. Can we get, a list of existing committees and their chairs?
Yep.
To see where people have been allocated, section available, that people should be on.
resend that out, everyone.
Onward and upward,
You got it.
right?
Great, thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Very exciting.
Yeah.